Let's dive into the discussions shaping the nation.
Thanks, Ciarán, and I'm happy to support this motion in terms of Ireland opting into the negotiating mandate on the EU-UK Youth Experience Scheme. And I think it's worth noting that the sentiment that drove the anti-immigrant sentiment that drove certainly the right-wing campaign in the UK against the EU is now, some of the consequences of that are becoming apparent. And it should be a salutary warning to people who want to go down the road of anti-immigration sentiment that it comes back to bite you in all sorts of ways. And I mean, from an economic point of view, certainly England has not thrived as a result of their decision. And I was quoting David Ricardo, an economist of pro-market inclination, and Karl Marx, classic 19th century economist, but both of them agreed on one thing, that all wealth derived from human labour. That's something that the anti-immigrant brigade don't seem to understand, is that you need human beings to make a society and an economy prosper. And part of that is the experience of travelling abroad, learning from other people, interacting with different cultures and different types of societies, and indeed different economic models, learning from that, and everybody is enriched by the experience. And thankfully, there's some recognition here that young people in Britain are losing out as a result of not having that freedom to move around Europe in order to work or to study, to interact with other cultures and ultra societies that they are losing. And indeed, I think the evidence is there that England has benefited nothing and almost certainly lost out as a result of adopting this anti-immigrant position. So it is a salutary warning. Don't go down this road, because it will come back to bite you, and people should think when they get into this anti-immigrant mentality, do they really want a situation? Because these things have knock-on consequences. Other countries in Europe are threatening to go down the road of this anti-immigrant politics, and it can have a domino effect where eventually it come back to bite us as well, in terms of the ability of our young people. And as has been said, we have a long history and tradition of our people going all over the world to work, to study, simply to travel and meet other peoples and cultures and societies. Do we really want our young people to face that anti-immigrant sentiment that certain political forces are trying to whip up? Because it will happen if we give succour to this. And to give some examples, but they're also a little bit of a warning on another level to us. I've been amazed over recent years the number of young people that are going to the Netherlands to study. And at one level, it's a very good thing that young people go to the Netherlands and study. But then I'm also thinking to myself, why are they going to the Netherlands to study? And of course, the reason when you talk to them is because if you're doing a master's in Netherlands, you pay no fees. No fees at all. Here, you pay €6,000 a year, and in the Netherlands, you can find accommodation, and the accommodation is affordable. Now, it seems to me that as well as wanting to have our young people, and young people generally, the right to travel abroad, work and study abroad, we might also want to be encouraging people to stay here, or even people to come here in order to work and study and so on, when you consider our shortages in all sorts of areas, in the health service and education and all the rest of it. But we are putting barriers in their way because we have excessive fees for masters, for postgrads, we have rents that are too high for our young people to afford, our young people generally to afford, and these are barriers to people moving around, and indeed ultimately will have a negative impact, are having a negative impact on our ability to function as an economy and as a society. And one last example of this, a lot of our young artists go to Britain because the conditions for performers and actors and directors and so on are better in Britain than they are here. As the Equity Union have pointed out again and again and again, they have a decent agreement between Equity and the film producers and other arts producers. So our talent are leaving because they are on substandard, often crappy, precarious contracts here. We should think about making Ireland a bit more attractive for our young people as well.
Like, share, and subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.